Hello everyone and welcome back. We are here with the next installment in our very long series for Sylvie's-Route for Kinkoi. Obviously last time we left off, we were getting back to, obviously, the three childhood friends are now back together. Sylvie, I'm pretty sure, is trying to confess to Oro, our character, that she does in fact love him. But obviously that was sidestepped because we got a call from our friend Chica, who Sylvie thinks our character likes, when really we just think of her as a nagging little sister. So yeah, everything has been just wayward, and then obviously now we gotta still, I think, worry about Ryuji, because he overall is a scum. He is a scumbag in and out for being part of an advertising family. So let's see how this works out.
おはようございます、先輩。
Morning, Akane.
なんだか辛そうですね。
I stuffed my face until nearly midnight last night. Junk food party was fun, but I guess it was a bad move on our part to start past 9 o'clock.
美味しそうなアップルパイ。
Oh, you can have it. When I came outside,
おはよう、オロ。
Sylvie came out from Ria's room.
お姫様が。
Yo! Oh, did you stay in Ria's room?
あの後もしばらくお話ししてたんだけど、そのまま二人で。
I slept over with two beautiful ladies. I obviously couldn't possibly take part, but I wish I could have at least gotten a glimpse.
オーロはどうしたの？こんなに早く。あら？ 1、2、3、4。おお、元気だね、お姫様。ラジオ体操、体育の時間にやるのは知っていたけれど、なるほど、目覚めにやるのも効果的ね。
It's a piece of wisdom from Japanese summer breaks. We headed to school shortly thereafter.
相馬くん、今日もお休み。
Not much you can do about her. I did go wake her, but she also had a severe case of heartburn from our late night binge spree. In her case, she'd probably skip.
もう、今日は2学期最後なのに。
Ah, I get it. It had completely slipped my mind. Next Monday was the end of a term ceremony. Today was the last day of class.
オーロ最近、授業に身を入れてるわよね。
I doubt it will amount to much though. I was taking this seriously, but I didn't know what I didn't know. Since I was preparing and reviewing as much as possible, I had learned new things along the way. But still, my path to becoming a diplomat would be a long one. And then...
シルビー様、よろしいですか？
おはよう、エル。
おはようございます。
Ellie respectfully bowed. It was fairly rare for these two to commute to school separately, I suppose.
明日なのですが、急な用事が入ってしまいました。
あら？明日はクマポン家へ行ってお城の修繕応援会で演奏するんじゃなかったかしら。
You mean Kumamoto Prefecture? You're going all the way to Kumamoto? That's awesome. Ryota had it rough on a daily basis.
そちらはキャンセルとなります。龍蔵寺殿がどうしても明日会いたいと。修繕応援会のスポンサーの一人ですので無視できません。
あらあら、龍蔵寺さん。タイミングが悪かったものね。やっぱり私のことを恨んでるのかしら。
でしょうね。確認しておきますが、何を言われても交わしてください。決して謝ってはなりません。
わかってます。そこら辺の駆け引きは適当にお茶を濁して逃げるわ。相馬くんと会えるつてを作ってくれたのは感謝だけれど、向こうも好き勝手したし、おあいこよね。
Can I say something? Sylvie lifted her hand to say yes. You and this Ryoji person have no relationship whatsoever.
ええ、講師織り交ぜてのお付き合いを望まれて、これまでは応じてきたけれど、相馬くんとはもう個人的にコンタクトが取れるんだもの。今後は講師の死は打ち切っちゃって OK。
So this was Sylvie's way of saying she was done with him. I bet he was perfectly aware of this. Why call her over now? I wondered what it could be. This gave me a bad feeling.
マリアに合わせるのが早すぎた。 まさかこうもあっさりあちらで打ち解けてしまうとは。
あのマリアが心を許すとは思いませんでしたね。
くっそー、シルビア王女、一発で僕を切り捨てるって、そんなに僕に興味ないのか。ちょっと強引だが、明日は何としても婚約話を引きずらせてもらうぞ。タブロイド紙の記者どもは何人くらい用意できた？
金の匂いがすればいくらでも寄ってくる外注どもです。20や30は楽に集まるでしょうが。
タイミングを間違えるなよ。無理やりでも何でも僕が彼女の唇を奪うその瞬間を写真に収めて即記事にさせるんだ。
本当によろしいので？国際問題にでもなったら。
だからこそ向こうは何も言えないさ。キスごときでそう騒ぎ立てるわけにもいかない。あとは民意を適当に誘導してうちとソルティレージュが蜜月だと思い込ませれば、自然とあの国の日本での窓口はうちに限定される。そしたら時間をかけてゆっくりと。
そううまくいくでしょうか。
それに僕ってキスがうまいからさ、無理やりでもしちゃえば彼女も僕に悪い気しないかも。いや本当にうまいだって。これまでした子みんなそう言うもん。
これまでした子って？
キャバクラとかソープとか、とにかく記者の準備しておけよ。
はあ。
どうされました？難しい顔をなさってますが。
Oh yeah. That Ryushi guy really did rub me the wrong way. I had nothing to base it on, but I felt uneasy for some reason. Hey, Sylvie.
何？
About that meeting tomorrow. Do you know where you're going? To meet up or anything?
そうね。隣町のホテルだと思うわ。あそこ、とても綺麗な日本庭園があるの。
Sylvie was smiling sweetly. She didn't appear to be on guard in the slightest. Sylvie was in the right on this one, and there was no need to be on guard. I was a weird one here, but I still couldn't shake this feeling. Hey, would it be okay if I went with you?
What?
The garden. I think I'd like to take a quick look myself, and if it's a high-class hotel, I couldn't exactly go and see by myself very easily.
もちろんいいわよ。
Sylvie smiled happily, but...
それじゃあ、エルにオーラも。ダメよ、オーラ。明日、千恵香さんと約束があるんでしょ？
That's right. I just confirmed that with her yesterday. She asked me to go out with her tomorrow to make up for Christmas. Then why don't we bring Chica along or something? We hadn't decided where we were go yet. Anyway, Chica would willingly tag along if I told her we were going for lunch at a high-class hotel. But...
ダメ。二人で会うんでしょ？なら、千恵香さんに集中してあげて。私が間に入ったら、彼女にもきっと変に思われるわ。
Well, yeah, I bet she'd be crazy nervous if she ran into the Princess of Sortoge. In the end, it wasn't looking probable for me to tag along. What to do about this? I made up my mind to try and win Sylvie over by age 25. But if I was acting so impatient now, could I wait that long? Still, I'd simply be overreaching if I were to tell her I loved her now. My shell wasn't cool enough to pull that one off. The night had passed, but the gloom I felt hadn't faded. It was currently 9 AM and right around the time I was waiting for Chica to call me. Walking around outside was such a pain too. What to do?
おはよ
Morning.
う。テンション低いの？
Yeah, pretty much. If a certain someone in a long black wig appeared, then that perked me right up though.
ない。ジュースもらうぞ。
Ria grabbed a Ramune from the fridge.
こっちも今テンション低い。つかイライラする。くそ。手軽に殴れるサンドバッグ持ってないか？お前の腹でもいい。
Nope. Something wrong. If you're ticked off, listen to Maria Bishop's music is strangely soothing. You could sing if you want.
ない。
She patted at her pockets. With that, she clicked her tongue, as if she'd realized something and gave up. You're out of cigarettes, aren't you?
それ今禁煙3日目、一番きつい日だ。やっぱりサンドバッグがいるな。
She tucked down the room in a single gulp.
クリスマスまで持つかこれ。くっそ。
Christmas? Did you quit for the party?
仕事受けちゃったし、タバコの匂いさせてるとまずいだろ、マリアビショップが。
For sure, it would. She was a more conscientious person than I expected. It'd be disillusioning beyond belief if the lovely Maria smelled like nicotine. Maria gives off this impression that she emits this citrusy, minty, fresh aroma from her sweat glands, like some all-natural fruit sprite.
シトラスミントね。クリスマス会はそれ以外の香水で行くから、どっちにしろタバコは NG。
She collapsed limply to the floor. It was one downbeat day for the both of us.
そっちは
Nothing much.
シルビーに振られたとか。
She hasn't turned me down, and you shouldn't say stuff like that. It was more than that. I'm stressed out because I can't tell her how I feel yet. A diplomat by age 25. A distance I could have to travel, and how steep the climb would be to get there. All of it left me feeling down in the dumps.
告白できない？なんで？
I mean, remember what I said before? If I did it the way I am now?
なんか言ってたっけ？あのさ、イチ。もうあの時とは状況違くね？
Oh. Both of my rivals had fallen by the wayside, and it was probably safe to disregard that Ryuji guy too. There were no reasons not to confess with the way things currently stood. But...
ヘタレが。
that was the conclusion anyone would reach. That only reason I refused to confess was for that exact reason. It was true that I wasn't worthy of Sylvia the way I was now. But I did think the biggest reason was how much of a loser I was. I still can't do it. Not how I am now. I'm not confident enough that I could become the cool sort of guy who deserves to be at her side. It was too soon.
別にかっこよくなくてもいいんじゃね？
Huh? Where did this come from? You were the one who brought how cool or lame I was up in the first place. The second night crossed my mind.
わかってねえな、お前。大事なのは今かっこいいことじゃねえよ。かっこつけることだよ。かっこつけた結果どうなるかなんてわからないけど。でも、かっこつけてるやつは無条件でかっこいいもんだぜ。
What did she mean? I didn't get it, but then...
チャッスー！オールくん。あ、いた。
Chica arrived.
どうも、今消えるんで。はい。どうも。
Looked like she got cold feet since there was a delinquent in my room. She was pretty on edge.
あれ？もしかして、相馬くん？
You immediately recognize her too? Huh?
久しぶり、チェッカ。嘘、久しぶり。
These two had met back in the day, but she recognized her at a glance. Was this normal? Was I the majorly dense one for taking so long to piece it together? Yes. We said goodbye to Ria, who went to sleep in her room, and I headed out with Chica.
一回そう、リアちゃんもノーブルだったなんて、なんで言ってくれなかったのよ。
I didn't know you remembered her. So, where are we going today? I agreed to spend Christmas together, but then I bailed because of the party Maria would be attending. Today's get-together was to make up for that. Today ought to be plenty to go do something Christmassy, like go around looking at the decorative lights. People started doing those activities around the end of November anyway. However, Chica looked less than pleased with me. I assume you plan to try and make me see Toyo since it's Christmas. The childhood friend I'd cut ties with after the incident that summer, I knew Chica wanted us to patch things up. Toyo could have taken time off for Christmas, but today is a Sunday and our baseball clubs definitely has practice. Your plan went up in flames, so then what are we going to do today?
そこまで計算済み？
It was obviously a coincidence, but I had wanted to avoid any Christmas get-togethers entirely.
オール君ってほんと性格悪いよね。
You're awfully rude.
まあ、いっか。それじゃあ隣町まで行こう。
Is something going on there?
あるホテルでね、ライトアップがすごいらしいの。来週見に行くから、その下調べも兼ねて。
A hotel? A town over?
すっごい日本庭園があるんだって。
Okay, let's go! Let's go right now!
何急に。
Come on! Run for it! Come on already!
なんなのよ
本日はお時間をいただきましてありがとうございます。
いえ、マリアさんとお話の機会を持つのにご尽力いただきましたもの。お礼をしたかったところですわ。
マリアとは随分と仲良くなられたようで。
彼女と懇意な星テレビの城ヶ崎さんが学園で同じクラスですの。その縁がありまして、今後は龍蔵寺さんのお手を煩わせずとも彼女に接触できそうです。
そうですか。それでですね、今日呼び出したのは他でもない。
はい。
巷に妙な噂が出ていたそうですね。何でも僕とあなたが将来を前提にした仲であったとか。
はあ。
僕が流したんだけど。
この人が流したのよね。
このたかが噂についてソルティレージは公式に否定したそうですね。
ええ、風評は早めに立つのが常道ですから。
この件で少々こちら困っていましてね。民衆というのは勝手なもので特別仲がいいわけではないと聞くと、自然と仲が悪いとやっかんでしまう。我が龍蔵寺家と貴家の間が不穏であるかのように邪推されてしまっていまして。
それは
元はといえば僕のせいだけど。
元はといえばこの人のせいよね。
そこでですね。
はい。鼻息が荒いわ。どうしたのかしら。そういえばいつの間にかエルたちが周りにいない。ここがそのホテルだけど、なんかカメラ持った人多いね。今日何かあるのかな。
Yeah, must be.
どうしたのオール君。誰か探してるの？
Nah.
帰りなさい。現在ここの庭園は立ち入り禁止です。
だから立ち入ってはないっしょ。公共の場ですよ。勝手に追い出したらそれこそ犯罪っすよ。
Ellie?
市松殿、なぜここに？
誰この美人。なんだか怖いわこの人。エルはどこへ行ったのかしら。
あと2分話を引き伸ばさなくては。なぜあんな噂をいちいち否定したのでしょう。放っておけばよかったことですよね。どうしていちいち否定したので？
それはですから、それが普通です。結果不利益を被ったそちらには残念ですけど。
誰かお付き合いしてる方でもいるので？いませんよね。いたら国が黙ってませんよね。
それはおりませんけど。
じゃあどうして急に否定したので？あと1分。
What's with all that commotion? Whoa, don't push!
わかりません。
There definitely was a seemingly famous Japanese style garden. but it was encircled by a massive fleet of men. They were different from Ellie and Sylvie's black-suited guards. They were all adept on their feet, but had chosen pretty sloppy attire. And they all had cameras in their hands. It was such a chaotic setting that Ellie's group was unsure of how to respond. Sylvie had to be in the middle of it all as we spoke. They had cameras. That must mean... Excuse me.
Huh?
I'm new here, so I'm not entirely sure, but is something going on here today? With the Caesar's Green, I spoke to a nearby man. I already looked like a completely ordinary Japanese man. It was unlikely they'd assume I was associated with Shoto again.
俺も知らねえけど、今日11時、ここでとんでもないスクープになる事件が起きるってタレコミがあったんだよ。ソルティレージュのお姫様がここにいるみたいだし、こりゃ大事件の匂いだぜ。
Scandal? If they were warned there'd be some scandal in advance, and at 11 o'clock, that wasn't even half a minute away.
あと22秒。20秒で記者たちが飛び込んでくる。その瞬間にキス。その写真が世間に回れば新たな火の玉になる。
急に否定したのは
私あと5秒。4、3、2。
好きな人が
1。11時。
The camera-wielding men surged into the garden like a flash avalanche.
待て貴様ら。
Ah! An incident had occurred at a previously disclosed time somewhere a member of the royalty was present. I had no idea how accurate these reporters were, but the crowd was massive. They must have had a pretty reliable source. I may have been a Japanese citizen who led a peaceful life, but I wasn't so foolish that the word terrorism didn't come to mind when this many prerequisites were met. Ali's group was preoccupied with stopping the flood of men. There was no time. Ah. All of you keep away! I slipped into the reporter's midst and rushed into the garden. I pushed through the pine trees, which hid the bank of the lake deeper within. Sylvie! I was the very first to find his way inside. Sylvie was there in a Japanese clothing, standing with two men. Was that man an assassin? No, a bomber? Sniper? I had no idea what would come next. But if he was after Sylvie, get down!
今だ。
The man suddenly grabbed Sylvie's shoulder. Maybe he really was an assassin. As Sylvie stood there, astonished, he threw his face in close to hers.
もらった。
半径1メートルに接近迎撃します。
The likely assassin was blown up before he could get in a word edgewise. But while Kiryu may have been defeated the assassin, the detonation had no real destructive force. Whoa! I snatched Sylvia as she flew off to the side. We tumbled to the ground in a grand fashion. Ouch. Flashy action movies weren't something to actually do in real life. My whole body ached after I slammed into the stone pavement. Also, why was it my upper lip hurt? Like something had crashed into it pretty hard?
おお、シルビア王女だ。取れ取れ。
やっぱ可愛いな。あれ？キスしてる？おい、大スクープだ。うわー、羨ましい。でもこれが飯の種なんでね。
The onlookers are being pretty noisy. But as for me, personally, my brain stopped functioning the second I recognized the situation I found myself in. We were pressed together. Well, yeah, considering the sensation I felt against my mouth. Sylvie gently lifted her face. She was on top, so she could easily part from me if she did so. The sensation, it seemed, to linger, to cling to my mouth. A soft, squishy, melty sensation. And that brief moment would be forever etched into my memory. Why? A pleasant sensation pressed against me once more. I was obviously happy about it, but the reaction that came to mind was less joy and more, why? Sylvie. She was full aware of what she was doing right now. She knew she was doing this with me. And then, it went without saying. In the 2 hours that followed, these photos of us caused a massive uproar all over the internet.
記者は全員拿捕したのですが、あの写真はすでに回収不可能の状況です。
You do hear them often say a democracy is the most impossible tyrant to control in all of history. Ellie's black-suited troops surged in afterward and brought Sylvie and me to a separate room. After a short wait, we were transferred here. My and Sylvie's relationship was immensely touchy at the moment.
困ったことをしてくれましたね。
事故です、事故。
Smoke was still pluming out of this man's hair turned afro. She was going to talk it out with him first.
我々が日本の司法の外にあることはご存知ですね。シルビー様を大衆扇動に利用したとあれば、腕の一本で済む不祥事ではありませんが。
だから誤解ですって。ちょっと王女と私の仲の良さを匂わせる記事を作らせ、我々とそちらの不仲の噂を払拭したかっただけ、それだけですよ。シルビア様に対しては一緒に日本庭園の風流を楽しもうとした、それだけなんですから。
本当にそれだけ？
You didn't try to kiss her?
誤解ですよ。
He faced away. Well, there was no way to prove just how far he had intended to go. I understand you wanted to become closer to Sylvie. How close aside? But I don't believe that would be a great idea. Please don't try this again. This may not have been my comment to make, but Ellie stood by silently and watched, so I said it anyway.
申し訳なかったと思うし、二度としない。しかしこちらも家や会社を守る意味でだね。
He was still spewing out excuses left and right. It wasn't like I didn't get what he was saying, but that stuff doesn't make sense to me, but you really should stop making excuses. You probably had a reason for all that crap you pulled. Even if that were the case, your methods were way off base. If you wanted to get closer to Sylvie, you should have just said so from the beginning. Otherwise, how should I put this? It's really lame. If you want to win a girl's goodwill, you aim to be cool first, if you ask me. Not trying to lecture you or anything. My statement was a bit high and mighty sounding. It also hurt knowing how my rant could just as easily be applied to me.
本当に申し訳ない。
The man bowed his head to me, for some reason. Ellie stepped between us.
あの庭園にはいたずらで花火のようなものが仕掛けられており、記者たちにはその情報がリークされていた。花火に驚いたシルビー様は転んでしまい、偶然近くにいた少年と接触、転倒。その際に顎部を強く打ちましたが、怪我はなし。運悪くそばにいた龍蔵寺殿が花火の直撃を受けて軽度のやけど。これでいかがでしょう？
十分です。
その髪、洗った方がいいでしょう。ボラルコーチェ。
こちらへお願いします。
はい。
17枚ほど版をいただく念書がございます。まずはお着替えをどうぞ。
They took him away. Okay. With that out of the way. There was one significantly larger issue remaining. That was, yeah, it was an accident, but it didn't change the fact it happened. Sylvie had been frazzled ever since earlier. I guess even a kiss, which was on par with a greeting in foreign countries, was different when it was on the lips. Well, don't worry about it. Our mouths just plopped together, that's all.
そんなわけにはいかないでしょ。ファーストキスだったのに。
Simply looking her in the eye instantly drove her into a panic. I felt the same way, so I totally understood. When... Chica, who I was dragged away from at the hotel, was brought in by the black suits.
ついでなので来ていただきました。どちらももう帰って結構ですが、どうします？またホテルへと言うなら送り届けます。
どうなってるのオーロくん。ここどこ？なんでソルティレージュの領事館に？てか、あの人ってシルビア王女？はじめまして。チーカさんよね。オーロから話は伺ってるわ。私のこと知ってくれてる？ええ、知ってる。オーロのとても大事な女の子。まあ大事にはされてますけど。ごめんなさい。ゆっくり挨拶したいけれど、この後用事があって。二人はあのホテルに用があるのでしょ。戻った方がいいわ。エキスナ、お送りして。
はい。
Sylvia appeared to be on the verge of tears as she looked between me and Chica. I thought it was strange until she finally made eye contact. Sylvie? Hey, Sylvie! And for whatever reason, she suddenly broke into a sprint. I quickly chased after her.
あれ、市松様、ホテルは？行っちゃった。隊長、どうしましょう。
どうするも何もご命令されたのだ。追いかけるしかあるまい。
はい。
急ぐ必要はありませんが。
Wait!
なんで追ってくるのよ!
Because you're running away, obviously! Hold on a second, Sylvie! And hey, you're fast! Were you always this quick on your feet? I was running at top speed and she was still faster than me. And wearing heels. Had there been any point in my running off with her in my arms that very first day we met? Aside from that fact, it brought us together. I said wait! For who knows what reason, we headed here as if we were in sync. We had both dashed at full strength, so I was nearly out of stamina. The furthest I could make it was here. We both slumped to the ground. Why did you run away? We'd been repeating this same argument since earlier. It was pointless for Sylvie to run away, and equally pointless for me to follow her. But I had to say, it was because we wanted to come here. We wanted to be alone. I guess that about covered it. I know, Sylvie. Let me say something first. That wasn't your first kiss. You know it wasn't. 10 years ago. Sylvie saved me when I was drowning in the lake, and Rhea pulled us up. You saved us, Soma.
シルビアさん、大丈夫?
But Sylvie seemed to have swallowed some water and was in the middle of a coughing fit. What do we do, Soma? This girl's gonna drown.
わかんない。
She wouldn't drown now that we've reached land, but I got scared when I saw Sylvie choking on the water in pain. Eh.
ほら、何してるの？
CPR!
意味ないよ。シルビアさん大丈
溺れてた男の子を助けようとしたら、助けた途端に唇を奪われた。日本人って意味がわからないと思ったものだわ。
I'm sorry.
あんなのはファーストキスには含めません。私のファーストキスは今日よ。イチに奪われたんじゃなくて、オーロとしたの。ファーストキスを。
Yeah. If she insisted, then that worked. That wasn't the problem.
でも、オーロは気にしないでいいと思うの。事故、ただの事故なんだから。
Yeah, it was an accident, but...
私はいいから、千恵香さんのところに戻ってあげて。
Huh?
大事な人なのでしょ。
Well, yeah, she is important, I guess.
ほら。
Yeah. Sylvie, don't you have the wrong idea?
車の用意ができました。どうぞ。
はいはい。すごいリムジン。オーロくん転校先でどんな生活を送ってるんだろう。うちの経済状況じゃ絶対ありえないな。
あと、この領事館に入った日本人は誰であれ記録が必要となります。こちらに記名を。
はい。市松千恵香と。
Itsumatsu Chika. I told you back at camp, but do you not remember?
聞いたことない。
We were pretty distant back when we were little too, huh? No matter how many times I protested, Chika refused to address me as Oni-chan and called me Oro-kun instead. You'd think she were the older sibling with how often she nagged at me. She definitely is important to me, but not in the way you're imagining, Sylvie. She's not the sort of person I'd want to do this with. I pressed my lips against hers for the second or third time. The very first calm kiss of my entire life. It was an elegant, soft sensation entirely befitting of Sylvie. Sylvie? But...
捕まえた。
Whoa! It was then that we were surrounded by a group of black-suited guards.
こちらへ、ホテルへご案内します。
Hey, wait! We were just getting to the good part! They dragged me off. Sylvie was up there still spacey from the afterglow of her kiss, as I was pulled away from her. Later,
奇跡の再会か。もう運命だね。
I'd like to think so. I explained the situation to Chika. Huh. I was wiped. I felt kind of tired, but I waited for her to get in touch with my cell phone in hand. Her call came past 8 o'clock. A little late, huh?
エルたちを巻くのに手間取っちゃって。キュロちゃん77の特殊機能の一つ、インビジブルキュロちゃんをとうとう使ってしまったわ。
You could have just told them the truth and come out.
ダメよ。今、オーロと会う理由を知ったら、エルたちには大問題だわ。恋の一つも自由にできないんだから、お姫様って面倒よね。
The lull leading up until this moment may have been a blessing in disguise. It gave us a chance to get both our feelings in order. And now that we had, we seem to be on the same page. Sylvie had finally gotten her usual smile back.
それにしても、 さんね。想像もつかなかったわ。妹さん相手にあんな私バカみたいね。
I guess you may have jumped to conclusions there. I've also got a confession to make. I actually got jealous of, your brother too.
お、そうなの？
Yeah.
私たちお互いに勘違いしてたの。
Looks like it. If we take that out of consideration,
いつから両思いだったのかしらね、私たち。
there was no point hiding it now. When had it all begun? When we realized we were childhood friends the second we reunited, or it didn't matter when. Our feelings were one and the same. We'd act on those very feelings going forward.
好きよ、オーラ。
Same here.
知ってる？お、座って座って。急だったからお菓子はあまり用意できなかったのだけど。
It was nearly the latter half of December and it was quite cold at this time of night. But we enjoyed a tea party together. After giving it some thought, I would have had to realize how I felt about Sylvie the moment we held our first secret tea party. Oh yeah, here. I pulled out the pendant from underneath my shirt. The pendant I had gotten from Ria. I could finally use it for its original purpose. I removed the topper, the ring, from its end.
オーロが持っていたの？
It was given to me just recently. She said it was for our wedding ring.
そうね。つけて。
Yeah. We exchanged our rings. She held out her left hand. I knew what that meant. I placed mine on her ring finger, and Sylvie placed hers onto mine.
おお、今のオーロにぴったり。すごいわね、相馬くん。10年も前に大きくなったオーロの指のサイズを当てちゃうなんて。
She really is amazing. Hang on, did you know about this, Sylvie? That this ring was made for me?
もちろんよ。私が相馬くんと一緒に作ったのよ。10年も前から知っているわ。
Huh? She knew these rings would someday serve as our wedding rings? So,
大切な初恋の思い出だわ。
Sylvie considered these rings a memory of her first love. But hadn't she told me before that her first love was Soma? Huh? What? Hey, Sylvie, was your first love?
急ごしらえだったけど、このクッキーおいしい。
Sylvie had started to munch away on sweets like always. This girl was actually pretty devilish. Oh well, that was part of why I fell for her. Didn't I mention it before, Sylvie? I plan to become a diplomat someday.
お、ええ。
I'll just be blunt and ask, would becoming a diplomat be enough to be your future spouse? If it would take even more than that, I'd put in the effort to reach those heights. I'd show off as much as possible if it meant Sylvie and I could be together.
役職は大事ではないわ。オーロ以外の相手なんて考えてないから、オーロがオーロであることが最重要事項。でも、オーロが今よりかっこいいオーロになるなら、どこまで行っても足りないと言えるわね。
Relentless. But that was how it should be. I would act even cooler than before. That's just what you did when you were in love.
なんだか照れちゃうわね。あ、オーロ、お菓子をどうぞ。
Sure. But we did just have dinner, so this is a little much.
いいから、ほらほら、このマフィンはね、4種類もフルーツが入ってるの。
She brought them over to me. The muffins were also fine, but... Okay then, Sylvie. Grab those and come on over here.
はーい。
She probably planned to feed me, but once she got close, I went ahead and kissed her. There wouldn't be any interruption this time, and I could enjoy myself as much as I wanted. She was soft, faintly sweet, and smelled wonderful.
このマフィン本当に美味しいのに。
Sorry, but I guess I'd prefer a kiss from you over a muffin. Which would you prefer, Sylvie? That muffin you recommend, or a kiss with me?
もうこっちに決まってるじゃない。
She pressed her lips against mine, on her own. She didn't just press. The way our lips softly mashed against each other, when we rubbed them together, felt great too. We each jammed our lips against the other and became entranced in rubbing them together. Are you okay?
ええ、する場所を考えるべきだったわ。風邪ひきそう。
For sure. Oh! That felt awesome. But I was hit with a sudden wave of exhaustion. On the other hand, Sylvia looked spaced out. And yet, she had such an energetic, sweet smile.
ねえ、オーラ、私のこと好き？
Huh? Yeah, of course. That question came a little late, if you ask me, but she looked happy about it. Where the heck did this come from all of a sudden? This was embarrassing. A happy smile from someone as beautiful as Sylvie was powerfully destructive. It made me want to hug her. And so I did. Sylvie looked delighted by the gesture. Then the princess said, with her usual cheerful smile,
ねえ、オーラ、これから大変なことも多いでしょうけど、変わらずに私のかっこいいオーラでいてね。
Of course.
Loveriche!
Alright, so we're gonna end this one here, but I'm pretty close. We're literally probably at the end, but at this point, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're at the end, so I'll probably finish it up in the next part. But yeah, so obviously we find out that Chica is our character's sister, which kind of felt like it, because I was like, no one nags you this much, even if they're a friend, unless they're a sibling. And she, in fact, is our little sister, Chica Itsumatsu. So now we find out Sylvie was worried for nothing, and we confessed, and some other things happened in the scene. But yeah, so overall, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back to hopefully finish this in the next installment. So yeah, thank you everyone, and have a good day.